Hello,
Hello.
this is a new start. Nick has come up with a new series before Easter, not Christmas. Christmas is gone. Coming up.
Yeah, so we're in a period of Lent.
Dieting now.
So if you had pancakes on Tuesday, I'm wondering what kind of pancakes you like. My favourite are bacon with maple syrup. Yum, yum.
Tower.
What do you like, Andy?
I've got
Something with cream. Chocolate sauce?
No.
Ice cream?
I could be, definitely, yeah. And for Joe, it would be salted caramel ice cream. We know that. There'll be ice cream, like cream, blueberries, and some. I don't know, not honey. That's too maple syrup because that's sweet, but it's thinner. It's not so.
So if you took any photos of your pancakes, you can put them on our WhatsApp group. That would be really nice.
Do you mean we missed out pancakes yesterday? Oh no! Oh no! It's today. Today's Tuesday. Oh, we can have. Sorry, no, I shouldn't.
We're going to post them on our WhatsApp group anyway. The ones that we do.
I should buy some blueberries. Sorry, I've interrupted Carol.
So as Andy said, we're starting a new series for Lent, and today we're looking at Jesus as the Good Shepherd. And I'm going to look at sheep, and Andy's going to look at the shepherd bit. So I've made a little video of how sheep behave, and some silly little facts about sheep. Andy's made some sheep. Put them close to the camera so everyone can see. So we're going to stop the video now and show you the video that I've made, and then we'll come back afterwards and talk about it.
I've had a bit of training today, so I have got to tell you where the passage is before I start, and not be reminded halfway through. That's training, that's learning. So John 10, and it's verses 11 to 16. And as usual, I'm reading from the Good News Bible. See, I've been taught. What I've learned is another thing. I am the good shepherd who is willing to die for the sheep. When the hired man, who is not a shepherd and does not own the sheep, sees a wolf coming, he leaves the sheep and runs away. So the wolf snatches the sheep and scatters them. Hired man runs away because he's only a hired man and does not care about the sheep. I am the good shepherd. As the Father knows me, and I know the Father, in the same way I know my sheep, and they know me, and I am willing to die for them. There are other sheep which belong to me that are not in this sheepfold. I must bring them too. They will listen to my voice, and they will become one flock with one shepherd. Here you go. And my wife is going to share some pearls of wisdom.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I was thinking, how are we like sheep? So the first thing I showed on my little video was sheep feel safe in a group. And I was thinking about that because we're, as human beings, we're social creatures. We like to be with other people. We like to be in a group. And at the moment, as Christians, we're not able to actually physically meet together, which we like to do. And I was thinking that's, the reason sheep meet together and keep together in a flock is to keep them safe from predators. And I was thinking about our enemy, the devil. In the Bible, it says he prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking who he can devour. That's from Philippians. And I was thinking, if we're not together, if we're not in fellowship with each other, that's when we can get, our faith can get knocked, and the enemy can use that. So I'm encouraging you to stay connected. There are wonderful ways. We've got technology in which we can stay connected. My life group meet every Friday in a Zoom meeting. It's so lovely to meet together. Even Rosemary, who's in her 80s, meets with us on Zoom. And it's just so fantastic. It's a really, really wonderful thing. You just feel like you've had that enrichment of fellowship. And so it's really important. So keep using the WhatsApp group to stay in touch. And thank you for those who Zoom on a Sunday with us. That's lovely. Just stay in touch with each other, because this is a time, even in this pandemic, the enemy wants to divide us. But this is a time when we can stay together. And the next thing I was thinking about, we blindly follow each other, don't we, as human beings? Or we follow that person or that person. We don't want to be seen as different. And that's what sheep do. They blindly follow the next person, the next sheep in front of them, regardless of the decision that front sheep is making, whether it's a good decision or a bad decision. They blindly follow it. And that's how we are as people. We blindly follow each other. And actually, we need somebody to follow who shows us the right way. And I'm sure Andy will talk about that a little bit later. So I'm not going to, I don't know, maybe he won't. But I thought that's when sometimes we need to be bold and strong and stand up for our faith when it goes against the grain. And that's why we have the Holy Spirit who helps us with that boldness. So that's another point I wanted to make. And the Bible often talks about lone sheep. And that was again in my little video about lone sheep. And I've looked at of course, we've got the parable of the lost sheep that Jesus told, the lovely parable. But we've also got this verse from Isaiah, chapter 53, verse 6. All we like sheep have gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity, or sins, if you like to call it, of us all. So that's what Jesus has done. So the Bible talks about us as sheep. And the last point I want to bring up is about sheep recognise other sheep, humans, and human voices. And we need a shepherd. And this bit in Matthew, actually, the bit before the bit that Andy read.
John.
Oh, sorry, not in Matthew. Oh, no, yes, in Matthew, chapter 9.
So
we need a shepherd. So, sorry, not in John. We need a shepherd. Jesus went through all the towns and villages, teaching in the synagogues, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and healing every disease and sickness. And when he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. So even Jesus looked on us as stupid little sheep. But earlier on in this bit about that Andy read from John, it's also got this little bit, verse 2, I'm going to read from. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. So there we are. We need to recognise Jesus' voice. And now I'm going to hand over to Andy because I don't want to steal his thunder.
No, there's no stealing thunder. See, we got these sheep. I wondered, Jesus starts this passage with, I am the good shepherd. Now that's pretty strong. I am the good shepherd. You read on after our passage, and quite a few people in the crowd thought that was a bit strong. I just wondered what the sheep would be. Here's the sheep. They're there. Do you want to have one?
Yes.
And I'll have one here. We'll have the little one here. And at night, they get together, all different. They mix around, and they're in the pen, and they're going, oh, where'd you go today? What did you do today? What did you eat today? And they're going on, and they're having their little chats, and they're having their chits. And one of them goes, oh, man, did we have some phenomenal grass? It was so succulent. It was gorgeous. Oh, says another. We didn't even have enough drink today. You didn't take us proper water. It was all messy and dirty. Loads of cattle have been staring up as dirty. We had to, it was, no, says the sheep. We never go there. Oh, I wish I had your shepherd, says this sheep. And then I goes, oh, I suppose so. I never thought of it like that. So here you go. It's a sheep. Even the sheep will know if it's a good shepherd. Won't they? So Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. But he clarifies it. Who is willing to die for the sheep. And that's what he stands out. Stands out there is, he's not a hard person. He talks about, I know my sheep. And this is wonderful here. So I am the good shepherd. And again, he says it a bit later in chapter verse 14. I am the good shepherd. Hang on a minute. That's strong. But what he says after the second time is even stronger. And it's wonderful. I am the good shepherd. As the Father knows me, and I know the Father. That intimate relationship that he had with his Father. What follows now? In the same way, I know my sheep. That's the relationship. Just think of that relationship that the Father had with the Son while he was on earth. He got the mountain to pray, even on the cross. Before the cross, sweating in the garden. I will follow you. I will obey you. It's tough. I don't really want to go this way, but I will follow you. I will lay down my life in obedience because I am the good shepherd. But that relationship, it says it. I know the Father. In the same way, I know my sheep and they know me. Isn't that brilliant? And Carol talked about voice. Hearing the shepherd's voice. We know when we came down from London to down here, we've got particular verses one particular verse which just knocked us sideways. It confirmed to us what an inner feeling was that this was the time to move. This was the time to go. We would get like eagles start to fluff them out and kick them out of the nest. That was really how we were feeling in London. We didn't know why. Okay. And then we had a confirmation, biblical confirmation. That's how sometimes we hear his voice. Other times there's a prophetic word. Not often. Occasionally in church is a prophetic word. Or someone comes alongside you, praying with you, and says to you, this is what I believe God is saying to you. Do we hear his voice? Other times it's just reading the Bible, quietly reading, or listening to it on your phone. It's being read by someone else to you and you're listening. Something stops. You have to stop. Whoa, rewind. What was that? It's that inner voice. Holy Spirit saying, stop, listen. This is what I'm just encouraging you this morning. Now, a good shepherd. This is what I focus on. A good shepherd. Wonderful. A good shepherd. That's who we have. We have a good shepherd who died for us,
Mhm.
laid down his life so that we could be in this relationship that he had with the Father. And he's a good shepherd. What did a good shepherd do? He takes the sheep to the right places, the right pasture, the right water, down the right paths, not the dangerous paths, the right paths. Now, I know that I can be the black sheep, go off on my own little way and do my own little thing. But we have a God who died for us, who forgives us and seeks for us to be in fellowship. And the last part of it says, there are other sheep which belong to me that are not in the sheepfold. I must bring them too. They will listen to my voice and they will become one flock with one shepherd. I can bring that up today. There are people who don't know Jesus, still in his flock, but also in Weymouth and Portland. There are loads of different ways that people worship, loads of different church buildings, loads of different congregations to meet in other buildings that they run. We're one flock. Unity.
Mm-hmm.
As we work together, who are we working? It's the Good Shepherd. We're listening to his voice. May we have ears to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mint sauce.